how many ways are there in civil engineer private sector? How many roles are there for for a civil engineer to grasp?
See, as I've told you in the beginning, the stakeholders are there in terms of contractors, consultants, and clients.
Right.
So all the stakeholders are having opportunities. So maybe if I'm a fresher and if I need to identify from where should I start in.
Right.
At a categorical level, you have contractor companies where you can start in. You have consultant companies where you can start in, and you have client companies where you can start.
Right.
And what do you do all these three places? So if you join a contractor company, there are multiple options, 2-3 easy options. Maybe you can join as a site engineer. Everybody knows that. There is also a potential available for quality. There is also a potential available to be a planning engineer. There is also a potential available to be a site related to billing engineer. These are the areas which you can still explore
as a fresher only, right?
As a fresher only, not only a site engineer.
Okay.
There are other areas also within a contracting firm. And of course, if you go to consultant, you can be a designer, maybe a structural designer, an architectural designer, an interior designer, or you can be a draftsman, or you can be a project assistant, project coordinator with project management consultants. To my specific domain, you can still join as a junior quantity surveyor, trainee quantity surveyor, and then you can reach up to senior quantity surveyors. And there are multiple other consultant roles available. If you go to maybe a client side, you may join as an assistant manager over there to learn about how to control the project sitting in a regional office, or how to control the project sitting on behalf of the client at the site. So there are roles related to that. So these are the typical set of areas where a fresher, if I am a fresher, I can focus in terms of where to pick a job from.
So since we mentioned architectural designer, can a civil engineer be an architectural designer? Like they hire civil engineer for that?
See, they don't put you exactly in terms of design, but they do require a lot of other back-end support services where civil engineers, not just civil engineers, I would say mechanical, electrical engineers also required for them. See, the moment they do, of course, simple example I'll tell you, an architectural consultant also needs to prepare a BOQ. They also needs to do the quantity estimations are there from their end. So who can do that? Obviously, civil engineers has to prepare themselves, go along with them, do that. They also need people who can go to site, do inspection surveys, do measurement checks, do certain basic checks, whether the point is right, whether the coordinates are right. They need people to do that. And who can do that? Civil engineers can do that. So the industry doesn't restrict if you are an architect or an engineer. There is always opportunities to bind together and work. If it's an architectural firm, it cannot. They don't say like we won't hire civil engineers. They do hire civil engineers. And if it's a civil engineering firm, they won't say we don't hire architects. They also do hire architects. Entirely, we are all into construction industry. So the cross-functional will always happen.
Are you into hiring?
Yes.
You hire people?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So basic propaganda of a fresher, they see HR as a hiring person. In reality, HR is not the one who interviewing people.
So of course, like HR will have a role, will have a powerful role also in terms of qualifying you for an interview. So the typical process in any good company will happen like this. HR will be there who will first reach out to a candidate who will identify who will qualify whether the candidate is fit for the role or not. With some basic evaluations, their trade secrets, they will evaluate whether the guy is good in terms of behavior, communication, etc. And there will be some more technical, I would say, not technical, but some aspects will be there from a HR side to evaluate you. So they will evaluate you, and then they will give you for a proper technical interview. So a HR is at the start of the process, definitely. So you need to attract an HR in a company. For that, you need to show your own skill sets at that level. Second comes to your technical skills, because when it comes to the second level, it is people like me or whoever is into the technical side of that project or that aspect of work. They are going to evaluate whether you see, if you're a fresher, first thing what they will evaluate is they will not they'll ask you some questions to identify whether you have an answer for it or not. If you're a fresher, mostly the expectation is pretty clear. They wanted only one thing: do you have the interest to learn that and do it at your work or not?
That's what.
Because they know very well that I'm going to train you. They know very well if you take for the next 3 months, you are going to learn, and then their only expectation is
Whether you stay or not.
See, that
This
is also
also.
there. That is also there.
Okay.
But do you have the capacity to learn and do? Do you have the interest to learn and do?
And this is the first thing, and this is the second.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So this is what the primary expectation from anyone technical.
Right, sir.
And of course, they also see how well you are able to work with a team. How, because we are speaking about Gen Z people. Okay. So what is your expectation? For example, what you have asked me earlier. Are you comparing yourself to software engineers or not? If I do an interview, that is what the first thing I'll see. Because I don't want my engineers, civil engineers who are into the construction industry to compare themselves with software engineers.
Okay.
I need to understand what is the vision or what is the perspective they have.
Right.
And I also will see how passionate are they about construction industry.
Right.
So these are the 2-3 aspects I see. Similarly, that particular technical manager will have his own expectations. But basic expectations are like you have interest to learn and do or not. Are you passionate about construction or not?
Right.
If this opportunity is given to you, will you be able to make use of this opportunity and develop something out of it, contribute something to the company or not?
Right.
That interest,
Right.
all put together, that interest is what people will see.